Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your buddy, the 14th Prime, and today we are talking about studio series. Why? Because I guess I kind of fully didn't understand what studio series meant. Here's the definition that's given on Google. Basically, just saying that studio series means it's the series that they've taken from the studio. And by studio, they mean movies. I kind of, at first, I guess because I'm gonna be honest with you, when Studio Series first came out, what was that, 7 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago? I wasn't in on it. It was a lot of movie toys, I believe. Like when I first started seeing them in Walmarts and Targets or whatever, it was, I want to say during Dark of the Moon, I want to say that I started real seeing like Studio Series toys, or maybe a little bit later after that, I don't know. Correct me in the comments. But oh, first of all, shout out to Michael. I'm sending you a package off Monday. I got you. Sending you something nice and a little something from my personal collection. I will be shipping that off to you Monday. Michael is the winner of last month's / this month's monthly giveaway. Yes, I am cleaning out some things that I don't no longer want. That now, listen, you might not get the box. Hopefully I can find the instructions, but if not, it'll just be something personal. You'll be able to figure it out if you're a fan. Now, back to what we were talking about. So with Studio Series, the next Studio Series Titan, as reported, will be from Studio Series. And again, like I was saying, that's from a movie. The only big things I could think of is if they did like an Age of Extinction supersized Grimlock, which is a possibility. We did get a big one during Age of Extinction, a huge Grimlock. We've gotten a few, but that's a possibility. Stratosphere is still a possibility. If it's from the 86 movie. Now, this was brought up in the comments, and also this was a video that I did a long time ago. I'm just looking to see if the box is close to me, and it's not. I keep my Titan boxes under here. Hold on. All my Titan boxes stay underneath the table. But during Earthrise, every toy that was on the boxes came to fruition. So like when Scorponok came out in Omega Supreme and the Ark and the Nemesis or whatever, there were pictures of certain toys on the box. And I want to say Scorponok. And only because I've got this video rolling and recording right now, yes, I could edit it and jump down in the floor and sort them and move them over. But on one of those boxes, the Quintesson ship is on the box. And we know how Hasbro might look at something, in say 2020, but we finally get it in 2025. Or like they could be looking at something last year and we get it 2 years from now. That's still a possibility that we could get the Quintesson ship. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because yes, we did get our faithful Ark. Again, like I said, not a lot of people love this thing, but I do. And then my favorite, we got the Nemesis afterwards. And see how they made the Nemesis so that you could sit her flat, as a display, or you could, close it back up and have it in its beautiful ship mode. Yes, this thing is massive and gorgeous and wonderful. But we'll sit that right there so she's still in view. But yeah, so, I mean, they nail it when it comes to ships. A lot of people didn't agree when it came to this. Wait, and this is transformed wrong because I display it in my volcano, but there, that is supposed to be out. So, but yeah, this was another instance where they went ahead and did a ship. And I've got to admit, I mean, like I said, a lot of people do not like this, but to me, it's very iconic to own it if you have a collection, especially if you have a G1 collection. These two ships, very, very, very important. So my whole point is, what if it is the Quintesson ship? What if they take the Quintesson ship from Transformers 1 and they do that? Because we did get the smaller, scaled down version of the Quintesson ship. I have him right. I'm trying to do this without turning right there. But that was a deluxe. So imagine if they did do a Titan size Quintesson ship. Would y'all be in for it? I would, obviously. Before we got this Ark, this was the Ark that we got. that did Transform? What if they did a bigger version of this? So I was doing my homework and looking up how many ships there were in in period, in the lore of all the movies or whatever. And there's like 7 or 8 different ships. A lot of them I never even heard of or just didn't know the names of them. But it's a possibility. It is a possibility. I really want to get down here. Hold on. Okay, see, now I gotta look. Oh, there's the Scorpion box. Wait a minute. Let's look on here. So, Ark was made. Ramjet, Dirge, the Tetrajets were made. There it is right there. What? Right there. Quintesson ship. It's right here. It's on the Nemesis box. Glad I found that. Oh, I love this box. See, and that's again, which takes me back to what I was saying about the Titans. There's nothing like getting this in the mail. You know what I mean? Or getting this dropped off to you. But honestly, I feel like it's on another box also. I do, but that was close enough. And it was on that box that I pulled out anyway. So, what if they did do a Quintesson ship? And then, you know, it transformed into one big Quintesson, or like the Quintesson High Commander. You never know. Because this didn't have a robot mode. This didn't have a robot mode, and they made one. I could see this, you know, being a studio series because it is accurate. It was in a film. Same with this. This was accurate. It is in a film. It's a little more blue and some more grays and, you know, battle damage on it. But still, I would love to see a Quintesson ship. They were very important to the story. And still are. Obviously, if, you know, you figure 45 years later, we're still talking about them in TF1. And, you know, what better way to keep them going? You know, we're supposed to get a Quintesson. Remember that listing a couple years ago? Quintesson is supposed to be a tour that we get somewhere in, I think, late 2026. And I don't know if it's going to be, obviously it's going to be concept art or concept series or whatever, because that's also a thing. And then I heard that there's a rumored, like that, you know, they said that 86 was going to end, the 86 line. Well, guess what? If 86 ends, they might do an 84 line. And then we're looking at like some of the Diaclone toys and some of the early Takara toys. We'll find out soon. Because you got to think about it. All this nostalgic stuff is making a comeback again. They just did images last night of Sunstreaker and Cordon missing Link. We got Grimlock and Ultra Magnus coming in missing Link. Also, if you missed out on Ultra Magnus, Studio Series Ultra Magnus, or 86 Ultra Magnus, whatever, it's on Amazon right now for $120. Yeah, I saw it this morning. For some reason they sent me a link to it because we're heavy Amazon shoppers. We're more Walmart.com shoppers, but Amazon sent me one this morning. I'm happy with my Siege Magnus. I might pick it up. I don't know, but then I got to figure out something to do with my Siege Magnus. Maybe give it away next month. We'll see. Anyway, I just wanted to talk to y'all about that and see what you had to think about it. I put a post up on the community poll saying, what was y'all think? A lot of people are in for Stratosphere though. Stratosphere is winning the poll, but I'm not Hasbro. You know, I'm just an old guy that likes to talk about toys every day with my loving family, which is y'all, and I love y'all. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments, would you be down for a Quintesson ship and why? Michael, sending your stuff off tomorrow. It's your boy, the 14th Prime.